Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today I actually wanted to make a quick little video on why your spiritual progress that you make via meditation is really meant to be personal and sacred. That's really just for you. Unless you are truly guided on an intuitive level to be able to share that with others, keeping this to yourself is really going to help you in the long run. So this video is dedicated to 2 reasons why this is so important. Now, the first key reasons why you want to avoid sharing your personal inner progress with others is because you open yourself up to criticism, possibly jealousy, when you do that, which is harmful to you as you are out, basically allowing outside energy into something that is supposed to be very personal and very sacred. Now, think about how long it might have taken you to actually experience what you finally achieved in meditation. It probably took, if you're very lucky, weeks, but really months and years to get to where you are. If you've been on a spiritual awakening journey, you've gone through a lot of pain, a lot of lessons, a lot of, hard truths, uncovering and healing that you've been through. And that's how you got to where you are in your spiritual progress. Now, if you wanted to really share this with others, think about what makes them so ready to be able to receive this information from you in a positive light. It took you a lot of lessons, a lot of time, a lot of hindrances along the way to be able to overcome to get to where you are. So you just sharing that without them having put that work in may not be beneficial to you or them. And so that's why you really want to keep it to yourself. Also, if, let's say this has led to your life really transforming on the outside, which is sometimes natural as you're on the spiritual journey, you are going to be able to, there will be a glow up to you. You have gone through possibly a lot of positive changes, leading your dream life, shifting out of what you used to do. So that may also invite in jealousy and unwanted jealousy from others that are not yet ready to see the work that you've put in. So that's another reason you want to kind of just keep this to yourself and not really just leak that out. Apart from that, you also want to think about, what you are sharing, whether it is actually helpful for them or not. Not everybody is ready to go where you are on your journey. Not everybody understands the, I guess significance is probably the best word to understand why the spiritual journey is so beneficial or so valuable. You have discovered that by going through, endless time spent on this journey to really understand that what you've gone through is really so potent and powerful. And, while we think that everybody should be enlightened and really come to know this truth, that may not be the case for personal loved ones that you're really sharing this with. So you really want to keep this information close to your chest. Now, from a perspective of really sharing this information with others in the sense of helping them, you don't necessarily have to talk about your inner experiences in order to have other people benefit from what you've done and gone through. Really, they can see the shifts and changes in your vibration and really be influenced by that. And if that's the case, they may ask you all by themselves, if that's something they're interested in, how you got to where you got. And then you can actually share your journey in terms of the steps you took to get there without really sharing and overexposing some of the things that you see and experience in meditation. So that's how you can really protect your inner progress, but still be of help to other people. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, the second and more important reason why you truly want to keep your inner progress, private is because of the reason that sharing this information with other people may fuel your ego. Now, if you believe that, having gone through a spiritual awakening, your ego is dead, that is not the case. An ego can be reawakened at any time by simply feeding the self. And what I mean by that is that when you actually start to go towards spiritual mastery, you are really learning to lose that individual sense of self, because at the core soul level, we are not separate from anyone or anything in the divine. We are all one. And when we kind of really fuel the ego in terms of our own individual desires, our own individual sense of self, then we reawaken the ego where it comes back, harder than ever. Now, there are a lot of stories from, mystics and spiritual teachers, which is why they particularly tell us to really stay away from sharing our inner experiences, simply because, even mystics and spiritual teachers of the past have experienced that, when they actually went into meditation, had all these experiences, they actually shared this with other people. It might have been just to simply help them, but what it ended up doing was it reawakened deep desires within them to be known, their ego to be flared up by really getting that validation from the outside, to once again be famous, and that spiritual progress was now lost. So what we really learn from that is that sometimes when, we're actually focusing on becoming nobody, that is the whole purpose of spirituality, to go from this individual self and then to realize that you are part of a much greater whole, and your true identity is to be one with the divine. So that's why you truly are on the spiritual path and the spiritual progress that you make. So therefore you want to hold that close, because if you were to share a lot of what you've experienced and your ego awakens again, and it is, at an all-time high, really, you could say, because you are seeking that outside validation, then you lose that progress which took you so long to acquire. And a lot of people that do experience this, where they've shared, they actually will tell you that they did not re-experience inner visions, colors, sightings for a very, very long time, because they now have to redo all of that work that was done. So you want to really, really be careful. Keep what you are, seeing really close to your chest, and that is going to help you a lot in the long run, and making sure that you are not losing what you've actually acquired. Now, just as a side note to this video, I do want to mention that just because you are not seeing something in meditation never means that you are not making spiritual progress. Actually, sometimes it's great that you are not seeing anything in meditation. What is important is for you to continue to show up, every day in a daily practice of meditation, regardless of what you see or don't see. Now, the reason why it's actually beneficial for you not to really see anything or experience things until you're ready is because you sometimes become too excited, not know what to do with that information, and also you end up becoming frightened, depending on what you're seeing in meditation. So not seeing anything is sometimes really, really helpful in the long run, and you want to not be discouraged by not seeing anything. Just keep showing up consistently, and that will show up. Now, it is important just always to remember that spiritual progress is really about your own self-mastery, discipline, and not performance. So as you remember that on this journey, this will be really, really helpful to you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was helpful. God bless.